Hey everybody, the Reeswirl here, and welcome back to more of Ace Attorney Investigations, Miles Edgeworth. Alright, attempt number 2. Hopefully it goes better this time. Oh god, I keep forgetting to turn down my audio. Wow, so this is the cargo hold, huh? It's so big! It's a cargo hold, it has to hold cargo. This plane is a special model. It has both a super large cargo hold and an ultra luxurious first-class seating. So is this the real scene of the murder? There is certainly a high probability of that, which is why we are here, correct? Okay, let's get investigating, sir. Yeah! Alright. Well, things seem better. No, essentially, the emulator I use for DS games is, I don't know how you pronounce it, like Desmumi or something like that. I had 0.9.11 on my computer, and then the other night I decided to test around with Melon DS, which is like an up-and-coming DS emulator because this one's been discontinued for ages. Just to test how it worked with certain games, I was like, okay, this is pretty impressive. It lacks a lot of features, but it's pretty good. Ever since then, Desmumi, or the 9.11 version of it, or 0.9.11 version of it, has just given me nothing but issues. Like high CPU usage, lagging, for seemingly no reason, and yeah, it's not been good. Which is ironic considering the other night I said that, you know, it's been flawless. But yeah, it just kind of sucks. So what I ended up doing was getting the nightly build, and I don't really know what to make of it. It seems okay-ish. One thing I noticed right away as soon as we came down the stairs is that one of these is missing, though. Holy suitcases, Mr. Edgeworth! It's like an all-you-can-use suitcase fair. These must be all the leftover ones they couldn't sell. The ones the company is planning to dispose of after this flight is over. I'm not entirely sure what keeps appearing on his face. Whatever. This paint job is really cool, don't you think? It practically screams artsy. Oh, why not purchase one then? I'm sure it'll bring you much happiness. You think so? Then maybe I will. Let's see here. $1,200. I think I'll pass. And Mr. Nero wonders why they don't sell. You need 2 jobs just to buy one. It definitely looks like one is missing. What is this brittle substance I'm stepping on? It's a bunch of glass fragments. Oh! What are these glass shards from? I mean, it's pretty obvious. I mean, I could logic them together, but I'll check around before a bit. Or I'll check around more before I logic stuff up. But the one thing I did actually want to say that I completely forgot about was this is the one reason why I actually preferred using the Wii U to play DS games, is because I didn't have any issues, performance-wise. And, I mean, the only issue with the Wii U is that not every game worked. It was very hit or miss, and also required a lot of testing. But at least the performance was stable. I mean, it is on PC, it's just, you've run into so many more issues, and it's a pain in the arse. Hey, what's with the suitcase, pal? It's what the victim checked in, sir. So this suitcase belonged to Mr. Hicks. I don't think he'd mind if we took a closer look. There's nothing out of the ordinary in here, sir. Wait, a file? There's a photo of Miss Von Karma on it, in it, sir. Looks like a profile on Franziska. Why did Mr. Hicks have documents on Franziska in his possession? That is a bit weird. Why would Mr. Hicks have had a file on her, not profile on her? Talk to her and find out. You arrived at the scene of the crime before Detective Gumshoe, correct? And then you immediately began to direct the investigation. Seems to me that you were already here at this airport for something besides this murder. Yes, I was. Why at this airport? I've been following a very large and involved governmental level international crime. It's much too large for one person to take on alone. So it was decided that I should join I should form a joint investigation with Interpol. Oh. Interpol is involved? It's a top secret operation, so I can't really tell you any more than I already have. Of course. Well, now we can logic stuff together. Boink! Oh, crap. So the only downside was switching my my buttons around. I've got the L and R buttons on the triggers of the controller, and LB and RB is switch LCD screen and fast forward. It's the only downside because I've used this controller for all of Trials and Tribulations with a very specific control scheme, so changing it up just completely screwed me over. Right, there we go. It's quite obvious. I mean, it even looks like a lens, but it looks like there's more of that lens missing than is shown in the top picture, but whatever. They're definitely related. I think we can safely conclude that these fragments are from a pair of glasses. And the victim was wearing a pair of broken glasses. Exactly what I was thinking. I'm sure that the shards would match up perfectly with the remnants of his glasses' lenses. Ergo, the victim was here just as I suspected. So you're saying that the real scene of the crime was here, sir? Isn't that what I've been saying for a while now? Oh, is it? I didn't know that. Perhaps it's a bit early to draw that conclusion. However, I believe that the probability has just skyrocketed considerably. All that's left is to find the murder weapon. As an Interpol liaison. Now why would Mr. Hicks have documents profiling Franziska? Oh, I know. I bet he's a big fan of Miss Von Karma, sir. Franziska said that she had come to this airport as part of an Interpol investigation. Oh, maybe Mr. Hicks had heard she was coming here and he followed her. Detective, I think it's more likely that Mr. Hicks was, in actuality, Interpol agent Hicks. I think Franziska has some explaining to do. Oh. So, the truth behind Hicks. You came to this airport to rendezvous with the victim, didn't you? Nonsense, what are you talking about? We found a profile detailing information about you in the victim's luggage. I suppose it was prepared for him, so that he could recognize you when he landed. Which makes him not Mr. Hicks, but rather Interpol agent Hicks, isn't that correct? I should have known you'd figure it out, Miles. But it looks like they got to him first. So you really did come here to receive an Interpol agent then? Yes. Agent Hicks was on the trail of a very large international smuggling ring. Alright. He went undercover to investigate this crime. And it was I who put him on this case. I was supposed to receive a call from him on his cell phone once he had landed. I never expected to receive a call about his murder instead. I think we now have pretty definitive evidence that Agent Hicks came down here to the cargo hold. But what was he doing down here, sir? There's nothing but luggage. Oh, I get it. Maybe he forgot something in his suitcase and came down to get it. Oof. Agent Hicks came here for a work-related reason, of that I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure he was here to investigate the smuggling operation he was observing. Franziska, do you know exactly how he intended to pursue his investigation? I really love the music for this game. It's just so good. No, unfortunately, I was going to find out from him after he landed. I see, but this raises another question. A normal passenger can't access the cargo hold on their own. Agent Hicks must have identified himself to a member of the crew, and entered the cargo hold with that person who let him in. Yes, and then he was murdered here. These glass fragments are from his glasses, and his broken glasses are a testament to that. And then the killer put Agent Hicks into one of the spare suitcases and they entered the elevator, but while they were riding it up, the plane hit that patch of turbulence. Because of the intense shaking, the suitcase popped open and Agent Hicks' body flew out. At the same time, his wallet fell out of his pocket, spilling its contents everywhere. Which explains why there was money scattered all over the elevator floor. I think it's pretty easy to say who the culprit is at this stage. What, really, sir? I know that you're thinking Miles Edgeworth, or what you're thinking Miles Edgeworth, but the killer can be none other than Miss Rhoda Tenero. Definitive evidence. If it was a crew member, any one of them could have shown Agent Hicks to the cargo hold. But the point to keep in mind is the keycard that allows the elevator to come down here. The only person with such high-level access is Miss Rhoda Tenero. I'd say that's a pretty decisive piece of information, wouldn't you? I know what she's trying to say, but I'm not certain it's as simple as that. Right, so definitive evidence. I wonder if the microphone actually picks it up better than before. Wait. Oh, I'm actually pressing Y. I'm an idiot. Hold it! No. Hold it! Fine. I nearly pressed the LCD swap again. I'm not used to having them on the triggers. That might be true, but then it could be anyone, including Miss Meal or even the captain. Don't be a fool. A plane without a pilot in the cockpit is like a horse without a rider, crop in hand, much like Scruffy over there. Can't disagree with her on that. Detective Gumshoe does always need a guiding hand. Very well then, what about the other flight attendant, Miss Meal? I thought you might ask about her. Yeah. It's highly likely that the keycard was stolen from Mr. Nero. Of course. It's highly likely? Was that possibility the best you can come up with? And you call yourself a disciple of my father? Oh dear. Yes, well, while I don't have any evidence, Be quiet, you're a disgrace. Oh, bitch. There's more evidence pointing to Miss Rhoda Tenero, you know. It's not just the keycard that gives her away. You talking about the murder weapon, the Mr. I Fly piggy bank? Yeah, she's also the only one with a key to open that display case. The key to the display case that held the murderous bank. But that is a fake! Stop right there, Miles Edgeworth. You don't have any proof that this is just a red herring. If you must keep on insisting that it's a fake... Oh, pardon me. Then what is the real murder weapon and where did it go? Speechless, I see. That's not surprising. After all, you know that we searched the entire cargo hold and came up empty-handed. There must be a way. There must be something that can help me rule out the piggy bank as the murder weapon. What should be examined to help us further ascertain the authenticity of the weapon? What should be examined? The body? I mean, the only thing we saw was that there was blunt force trauma to the head. But that's it, we didn't... Like, the body hasn't been examined. Yeah, the body. Francisco, I think you were too quick to jump to your conclusions. Oh, was I? Yes, we don't even have the autopsy results yet. How can I not say that you made a snap judgment when you have yet to even see? If the wound on Agent Hicks's head is consistent with the murder weapon. Well, that's true. Scruffy! Yes, sir. Contact the medical examiner's office at once. I wish to hear the results of Agent Hicks' autopsy. Or Hicks's. Yes, sir. Oh, there he goes. We've got a big problem, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Is he coming back down? What is it, Detective? They're still doing the autopsy, but they said that they already know this one thing for sure. Report, now. The doc said that it's one giant bruise from a beating from his shoulder down to his mid-back. What the? From the victim's shoulder to his mid-back, he was beaten over such a wide area? I'd say maybe it's a sign the killer had a grudge against Agent Hicks. Pardon me, it wasn't just his head. The killer went all out and hit him multiple times, sir. Oh. Scruffy, what is had a grudge against Agent Hicks supposed to mean? Well, that's, Was the wound on the victim's head consistent with the murder weapon, Detective? Oh, well, they said they were still looking into that, sir. You're completely useless. Oh. Sir, I told you already, you can't go down there. No, you remove yourself from my way. What is all that racket? Who the hell? Oh, of course. My luggage, my cargo. They're mine and I demand you return them to me. We're still investigating the cargo hold. Please understand and have a little patience. I suppose there is no choice. Finally, I think he gave... Hey, what are you... You left me no choice but to use strong force. You won't get past me. Oh. This is... Wait, that's it. So that's what this whole thing has been about. There is the matter of the key to the display case that held the murderous bank. Whoa, what's this? Is there some way for me to prove that this isn't the real murder weapon? Weapon couldn't be found. Nobody could find anything that could be considered the real murder... the real weapon in the hold. The doc said that it's one giant bruise from a beating from his shoulder down to his mid-back. Oof. Oh. So, cause of death. If I put them together, they don't... Yeah, that's how I can prove. There's no way that would cause that much damage. Without, like, breaking. We don't know what it's made of, though. Allegedly, the killer struck the victim many times over, which is why there is extensive bruising over such a wide area. But is that really the correct conclusion to draw from the evidence? The bruise from his shoulder to the middle of his back is one continuous mark, which is more suggestive of a single blow to the back. If that's the case, then the piggy bank is much too small to have caused that. Therefore, the murder weapon must be something far bigger. A sizable weapon. The unusually large area of bruising suggests that a very large weapon was used. The weapon couldn't be found in a sizable weapon. If we're looking for a rather large weapon, you'd think it would stick out. But so far we haven't found anything that resembles a weapon of any sort. Perhaps, just perhaps, it's something we all overlooked from the very beginning. Because normally, it's too impossibly big to be taken into consideration. What was that all about? Was he trying to jump his way down here? Franziska. What? What do you want? I found it, Franziska. I found the real murder weapon. You did? He really jumped. We didn't realize it until now, but the answer has been right in front of us this whole time. He might be hurt. We should go check up on him, sirs. There's that pompous attitude of yours again. You should learn to drop that habit. This coming from a prosecutor with a habit of whipping everyone she comes across. Anyway, if you really are a prosecutor, then you'll back yourself up with evidence. You two aren't listening at all, are you? Come on then, show me this real murder weapon you speak of. I don't have evidence to show. I don't have any evidence to show you. Foolish reasoning for a foolish fool from a foolishly foolish fool meant to fool me. What do you mean by I don't have any evidence to show? Perhaps I should have phrased it as that which caused Agent Hicks' death is incorporeal. Forgive me, but I do believe I have figured out what was the real cause of death. Suffocation, freefall, strangulation, freefall. The victim fell from a great height and subsequently died as a result. In other words, the real cause of death is free falling to the ground. He fell to his death? Yes, this is the only plausible possibility. The victim has extensive bruising on the back of his head and his back. Okay, I got confused because I saw back twice. The only rational explanation for these injuries is that he fell to his death. But the murder happened inside the plane. I know. Are you claiming that there is some place in this plane from which he could have fallen from? As I said earlier, the answer has been right in front of us. The entire time. You can't mean... Yes, I do. The victim fell from the top of the stairs of this very cargo hold. What? Then... We're in trouble. We may have a second death on our hands, sirs. Hey you, tell me you aren't dead, pal. Quiet, why are you screaming? He fell barely any far. Barely any far, what am I saying? He didn't fall very far. He's alive! And there you have it, Miles Edgeworth. It's not possible that Agent Hicks fell over the railing to his death. That man is living proof of that. I suppose it's true that it's not possible, given the current circumstances. The current circumstances? What is that supposed to mean? Suppose that large piece of cargo wasn't there at the time. What would have happened then? He would have been a Borginian pancake for sure. I suppose that man over there wouldn't still be breathing. The reality is that the cargo box is there. So there is no point in entertaining your wild hypothetical scenarios. It may be there now, but there is no proof that it was always there. Huh, as if there could have been a window of time when that giant box was not there. Ah, but there was. When we stopped off at Zhang... whatever it was called. Was it Zhangfa? Zhangfei? Zhangfa? I don't remember. It was Zhang something. Or Zhang something. What? What can I use to show her that it's possible the box was not always where it is now? The flight thing? Oh no, there we go. Refueling in Zhangfa. Made a brief stop from 4 AM to 5 AM to transfer cargo and refuel at the transfer point. Message from Mr. iFly. There we go. Take that! You refueled in the Republic of Zhangfa? Yes, this flight had a short layover in Zhangfa in order to refuel. But that wasn't the only reason for the layover. We also transferred some cargo. What if the box in question was only transferred onto the plane at that time? To further prove my point, let's take a look at what's next to the box in question. Ah, it's labelled Zhangfa Express. Correct, meaning it was loaded onto the plane in Zhangfa. Okay. Now what if the box in question was also loaded on at the same time? It would mean that the box was not here in the cargo hold during the Europe to Zhangfa leg of the flight, making a clear drop from which Agent Hicks could have fallen to his death entirely possible. But your theory is still very far-fetched. Then allow me a chance to prove how very likely my scenario is. My first order of business will be to examine that piece of cargo in more detail. There we go. Yay! This piece of cargo. This is a rather large piece of cargo. Oh, it does say bedsheets. What a random thing. There's a tag on it, sir. Let's see. Aleph Red Statue. Never heard of it. Alright, but all I care about is if we can prove it wasn't here at the time of the crime. Then let's get investigating, sir. Oh god, this guy again. Oh, he's finally coming down. I was waiting for him to get red in the face. Look here, do not go about touching my possessions without my permission. Don't brush up on me like that, pal. So this belongs to Mr. LeBlanc, does it? We should see what else I can find out from him. Okay. Okay, LeBlanc. LeBlanc's cargo. I take it that this large piece of cargo belongs to you, Mr. LeBlanc. Of course it is mine. I shipped this fine piece of art from Europe. This Aleph Red statue was worth 10 million cents. No, maybe much, much more. Mr. LeBlanc's reason for choosing this plane must have been the large cargo hold. 10 million cents. I suggest you stop trying to calculate how many packets of noodles that makes, Detective. Dan, how did you do that? I feel like you keep getting better and better at seeing right through me every year. Though I grow with each revolution of the planet around the sun, I have the distinct impression he continues to madly spin. I have the distinct impression he continues to madly spin in place. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth. So that 10 million cents, is it in euros or in dollars? Does it really make a difference to our case? Mr. LeBlanc, there is a chance that your cargo is related to our murder case. I was wondering if you would allow us to examine it a bit closer. It's a very valuable piece of art, so no, there will be no touching. Valuable... What else do I have in logic? Trail of an international smuggling ring? Could I really put these together? I guess I could. But... if Mr. LeBlanc has something to do with the smuggling ring, then it's possible this fake statue was brought on board in Zhengfa. I think I need to question him a bit further. Ah. Fake statue. About your statue, Mr. LeBlanc. I wonder if it might be a fake. What? How dare you say my art is fake? I suspected that your statue might be the target of an international smuggling ring. Don't say such fantastical things. Those thieves would not dare. I have the certification of my cargo right here. Do you mean the cargo certification document? Mr. Zinc LeBlanc, why didn't you say so earlier? Please show it to us at once. Okay. I can't read this. What does it say? It says as plain as day, the cargo was put onto the plane in Europe. And there you have it, Miles Edgeworth. Too bad for you. The statue was brought on board in Europe, just as it states in the certificate. No, that's... which means that there never was a window of time in which the statue wasn't sitting there. Okay. I respectfully disagree. We can't discount the theory until I see the statue for myself. Then you can have your wish. Look at it yourself and see I am right. This, I know I've seen this somewhere before. Isn't that... in the picture? Yeah, I mean, no it isn't. I think he does have a fake. That does not have red eyes. Huh. So I've seen this somewhere before. This is the Aleph Red? It gives off such a feeling of art. I can practically smell it. This statue has a high amount of historic value. After it was unveiled at a museum in Europe, I brought it to this country to exhibit it. I believe a closer look is warranted here. So this is the infamous Aleph Red statue, What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Did you find something? There's something wrong with this picture. We should examine it in more detail. Yeah, I can deduce the eyeball. The statue... the photo even. Eureka! Those eyes... oh, these eyes are awfully orange, don't you think? Yeah, and pretty. They remind me of sunsets when I was in grade school, sir. I don't think you see what I'm talking about. No, I do, but it's really like the colour of the sun when it's setting, sir. Ah, the memories. Oh my god, I remember standing out in that field, spinning with my arms out until I felt ill. I don't care about sunsets. Focus, detective. What colour are the eyes in this photo? Huh? Sir, they're red. As I thought. This statue is a fake. Mr. LeBlanc. What do you want? Do you not know I am a busy man? I will allow you 2 seconds for your answer. The Aleph Red, I suppose this is your pride and joy, is it not? It's the biggest trophy on this European trip. Do you know why I wanted to possess this statue? The trigger started 17 years ago. Better grab a chair, sir. Sounds like this is going to be a long story. Mr. LeBlanc, I regret to inform you, and you have my heartfelt sympathy, but... What is that? Sympathy? For what? You'll see. I'd like you to compare the eyes. That large fellow there has very bright and pretty eyes compared to yours. I wasn't talking about the two of us. I meant the eyes of the statue in front of us and the one in this photo. Why the sudden yelling? Now then... Oh... It is a photo of the statue on display at the museum in Europe. Now do you see, Mr. LeBlanc? The statue before us is a fake. Oh gosh. A fake? I believe that even further examination will be required. Now that we have confirmed that this is indeed a fake, there must be some sort of proof that this was brought on board in Zhengfa. And I will present to you evidence that will resolve the remaining contradiction. Wait, what? Oh dear. No, I didn't want to deduce. I pressed Y because I saw Y. I don't know why I'm being so stupid. No, I need to press my X button. There we go. Oh! It was brought on in Zhengfa. Because this is the cloth from the thing that's next to it. I don't know if I need to deduce it. I think I would just examine. What's this? The statue looks like it's stepping all over its neighbour's cloth cover. It kind of resembles its owner's attitude in a sense. Ho-ho! You, what did you said now? What? Further, my clothing's hem is not being stepped on by anyone. It's too expensive for me to allow that to happen. Please forgive the trespasses of my subordinate. Why should I forgive if the dress passes? Unless it is an expensive dress, you keep it. Huh? Alright, examining it doesn't seem to do anything. Oh wait, we have the cargo from Zhengfa, don't we? Yeah, we do. There we go. Eureka! There is clearly a contradiction here. What are you going on about? It's just a simple case of a cargo cover getting stuck under another piece of cargo. But if they were loaded on at the same time... That's not possible. But it is. It shouldn't be this way, but the statue is on top of the cloth. Supposing that the neighbouring piece of cargo was brought on board in Zhengfa. There is no way that any part of it should wind up under something from Europe. Which means that this fake statue was smuggled on board in Zhengfa. Ah. But then what about the cargo certificate? Let me ask in return, what about Agent Hicks? Why did he come down here in the middle of the flight? There's only one reason why, to secure proof of smuggling activity aboard this flight. So you say, but I don't believe he had to do that mid-flight. We could have just as easily inspected all of the cargo after the plane landed. That may be true, however, you have it backwards, Franziska. Sure, Agent Hicks could have waited until after the plane had landed, but he had a reason for coming down to the cargo hold. Suppose he had found the fake at the airport. It would have been after the swap had occurred. At that time, the suspicion would naturally fall onto the statue's owner, who would have no way to prove that the statue was switched without his knowledge. Which means there is someone involved who is forging or modifying cargo certificates. Ah. Oh. I guess the victim knew the real version of this was going to get nabbed, huh? Yes, while this photo could be seen as nothing more than a simple souvenir, it was in fact taken to be used as a reference document later on. So next, Agent Hicks had to secure proof that the smuggling had taken place. He came down here to take a picture of the cargo hold. A rather empty one at that, right before the fake statue could be loaded on board. A photo of the hold missing a valuable piece of cargo would have been proof enough. After that, all he had to do was hold the Zengfa cargo... Hold the Zengfa cargo crew and arrest the smuggler. Exactly. This only goes to prove my theory. If the statue was not in the cargo hold during the Europe to Zengfa leg of the trip, there would have been enough height from which Agent Hicks could have fallen to his death. Officer, move this statue immediately. I want a thorough examination of the floor underneath. Now. Miss von Karma, I'm ready to report my findings. Go on. After moving the Alifred statue out of the way, we tested the area under it with luminol and there was a reaction. Blood. I see, there was a reaction to the luminol, an indication that there was blood in that spot. Can we stop looking at it now, sirs? It would seem that my deductions were correct after all. I suppose it would appear that way. The culprit cleaned the blood up well. And how do you think the killer did that? How did the killer clean up all the blood? The bloody cloth, of course! The killer used the bloody cloth I found inside the suitcase to clean up the mess. You see, they had a need to clean up all the blood before the plane landed in Zengfa. Yes, because otherwise the cargo crew would have discovered it during the layover. So you guys are saying that the murder happened before the plane landed in Zengfa? There is no other conceivable timeline for the events of the murder. But if that is true, then that throws a certain person's testimony into doubt. If the murder occurred before we landed in Zengfa, then this becomes highly suspect. Miss Meal's testimony, I think. I'll double check. It was in his seat when we took off again. Yeah, it's hers. I mean, it makes sense that it would be hers.